All right, what is up, guys? Welcome
What's up?
to our second video. Welcome back to our channel.
E aí, galerinha do YouTube!
Familia de YouTube.
No, you have to say YouTube with an accent.
YouTube.
There you go.
All right, well, thank you for tuning in, guys. Today's topic is, are you ready for a relationship?
Are you?
So obviously it's a very big, vague question, but we kind of want to break it down a little bit with some topics and to see if we can help you out just a little bit further. So,
Especially because there's so many people out there that, really want to be in a relationship. I don't know how many times I heard, so many of my friends that say, like, I really want a girlfriend, I really want a boyfriend.
Right.
And it's like society kind of determines, like, if you're not in a relationship, then, like, who are you?
right.
And
Yeah.
so a lot of people, all they want is to be in a relationship.
Right, absolutely. I mean, and the short answer is that a relationship isn't going to make you whole, make you happy, and that honestly, it's going to be from God. And so we want to talk about some topics and just break it down a little bit more. So first, are you ready for a relationship? Well, you should be asking yourself, are you ready to get married? So yeah, it's kind of sounds like we're jumping the gun, but a big question you should be asking yourself is if you're wanting to get into a relationship, well, are you ready to get married? Because as Christians, as believers, we don't date just to date. We date to get married.
But your goal, your main goal is you're going to date to get married.
Right.
I think for us, when we started talking, that's like one of the first things I asked him in the very beginning is, do you date just to date or are you dating to get married? No. Because I knew for myself I wasn't in it to just play any games. Right. I wasn't here to get hurt again because I've been hurt in the past.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Relationships take a huge toll on somebody if it doesn't go well. And so we wanted to make sure we were dating in, with the heart to get married.
Right, and that we had the right intentions. And if you're asking yourself, if you think you're not married, or if you think you're not ready for marriage,
because that scares a lot of people, actually.
Absolutely. Ask yourself, why not? And I think you really just have to dig deep and really bring those issues or problems to the surface and really acknowledge it.
One reason why people sometimes say they're not ready to get married is because a lot of times they say, okay, I have, a career I want to pursue, and I'm not there yet, They have a thought of, like, where they want to be in life. They want to be a certain age when they get married.
Absolutely.
Maybe you're in, like, your early 20s and you want to get married when you're, like, late 20s. Then, there's a lot that, can go into play when it comes to getting in the way of you wanting to get married. There's a lot that you want to achieve before you get married.
Yeah, absolutely. With that, also talking about career and basically having a foundation is being content with yourself. I think that's definitely a big part of it. Like I said earlier, relationships, another person, another human being isn't going to make you whole, isn't going to make you happy. At the end of the day, it's going to be God that makes you happy, and you need to be fully satisfied, fully happy with yourself, fully content with who you are. And that kind of brings it into the second topic that we want to talk about is, are you content with your relationship with God?
A lot of people don't just put their relationship with God as a high priority. They put everything else as a priority, and we all know that God needs to come first in our relationship. Right. So it always is God comes first, then your spouse if you're married, or your family, and then work, and then everything else comes in between. So we all know that if you're not putting God first when it comes to being in a relationship, before a relationship, what makes you think that you're going to put God first once you have what you actually want? If you're not seeking God when you're single and you have all the time to do it, what does it mean? How does that look like for you seeking God when you do have what you actually want and you don't have as much time?
Right.
Because the reality is, when you're in a relationship, that takes up a lot of your time, but you need to make sure you're putting God first.
Absolutely, yeah. In short, God shouldn't be in the back burner. God should be ahead of everything in your life. Because I mean, I think we've all been guilty of it. Is just like, oh, like I'll seek God later, I'll pray later, and all that stuff. But that time never comes. And that kind of brings us into the third topic: is
do you know your purpose?
Do you know your purpose? That is so huge, and it's kind of a loaded question, because I know a lot of people are kind of insecure about it, or they just don't really know, and they're trying to figure it out. But the beautiful thing is that God made you so unique and so specific for a purpose.
Jeremiah 29:11 says that God has plans, good plans for
Absolutely.
you. Being God has not only just, a plan for you when you're married, but he has a purpose, a calling for your life individually. And so a lot of us, we have to make sure we know what that is. We don't want to, end up where our purpose, when we don't know our purpose, we end up putting our, our identity into the other person. The other person's purpose becomes our purpose.
Right.
And then in the long run, when you're married and you don't know that, God forbid, you're like 20 years into your relationship, you don't even know who you are, you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, and then the things that the other person does isn't fully making you content anymore, and then you're not happy with life and what's going on. And so that's why it's so important for you to know what your purpose, your personal purpose, because God is just that amazing. He loves you so much that he gives us all individually a purpose in this world. In Genesis 2:19-20, we see in the very beginning, right? The whole Bible just gives us so many different examples of so many people that God have given a purpose to, right? Their individual purpose. But it's crazy how just in the very beginning, God starts off, God created man and woman, and right before he created women, he created Adam. And in the beginning, it says that God gave Adam a job. He created everything there is in the world. He created all the animals. It says that he brought to Adam all of these animals, and he gave Adam a job to name all of these animals, to show that Adam himself had a purpose before he actually was with someone. And that goes into our lives. We all individually have a purpose, but the cool thing is not only, okay, he's him and I'm me, and then when we get married, it stays that way. The cool thing is that when you do come together, you then have a together
purpose. That's basically a big thing that we've been realizing. Obviously, I've had my path, my career, and then she's had hers, and now that we're married, we've kind of been learning that our together purpose is our love for people and our love for relationships, especially people who want to seek a godly relationship, and we want to do everything that we can to see people's relationship grow in a godly manner, and we think that's just so beautiful, and we just love, and that's a big reason why we're starting this YouTube channel as well. I mean, everything that we know, everything that we've been learning from our church, from our pastors, we want to share that information with you as well.
So a quick recap. You who are wanting a relationship, first thing you should be thinking,
are you ready to get married? All right.
Not in like 10 years, but like, are you ready to get married if it happens in the next year, 2 years?
Second topic is,
are you fully content in God?
Yes.
In your relationship with God.
In your relationship with God. That needs to be priority numero uno.
Does God come first?
Absolutely.
Above anything and everything.
Absolutely.
And ending off with, do you know your purpose?
Yep, for sure.
And if you don't, hey, I want to encourage you guys, if you do not know your purpose, what the beauty is that God, he is near to us. And it says that when we approach God and we ask, it says, ask and it will be given, seek and you will find, right? Knock and the door will be open. And the beauty is that if you don't know your purpose, just ask God. God, I know, is so eager to reveal to you all the plans and the purposes that he has for your life. And he wants to see you grow. He wants you to live a life that is just full and fulfilled. And so I know for a fact that if you set time to seek God, and I'm not saying when you seek God, he's just going to, boom, go and give you and show you what your purpose is. It might take time. It might take you a year. It might take you 2 years to really understand and find what it is that God really has for you. But have your eyes open. I know that when you have your heart open to it, God will speak. You will hear. You will see his voice. And seek God. So that's what we want to encourage you, is to seek God in any season, to know what
Absolutely.
your purpose is. And I'm glad that you're interested in dating and you're actually looking up.
Yeah, absolutely.
about it.
I think that's a very mature decision that you're even watching this video right now. And so, again, kind of what she was saying, patience is a virtue. It takes time, but you're going to find your purpose. You have a purpose, no doubt about that. So,
And you will find the love of your life.
thanks again for watching, guys. This wraps it up for this video. If you like it, please like and subscribe. Comment below what you thought about it. Write down in the comments some other topics that you might want us to talk about, or if you have any questions. All right, until next time, guys. See ya.